Hey, it's Tpok. I'm back in Analogue, a hate story. And yeah, let's argue with the Emperor. My concern over the pale bride's condition has grown lately. She seems to have grown even quieter, if such a thing is possible for a mute girl. While perhaps saying she is mute is an assumption too far on my part. I tried asking her directly, but she seemed too scared to answer. That simply makes me more suspicious, and I should like to know why. I addressed my husband on the matter, telling him that I wished to speak to the woman of the Kim family house to see if I could find out what is wrong. He shrugged me off, saying, "Don't, they're valuable subjects. The son is someone I have my eye on in particular. The politics of the situation are far too delicate for you to be meddling with." I cleared my throat. He might be both my husband and emperor, but I would not let that stop me from being bold. "My dear husband, I don't care," I said flatly. "I am worried about the girl, and I believe that talking to her mother might shed some light on the matter. The son is of no concern to me." "I don't see why it matters. She is the perfect woman. Why? Are you jealous?" he said, rolling his eyes at me. A gesture that he's only been able to use on me and his servants ever since becoming emperor. Nobody had the patience for it when he was a child, and I don't have it now either. "In Ho, dearest, do you believe that the well-being of a wife is a political matter? Or even an external matter?" I asked. He didn't. "So would you say it is a domestic matter?" I asked. He reluctantly agreed. "Then as a domestic matter, it is the responsibility of the woman of the house, is it not? Please tell me, you are obviously more well-read in classics than I said, both of us knowing he wasn't. "Fine," he said. "But just because it is your responsibility does not mean I can't overrule you." He left silent to follow up. "I don't have to take this from you." "You do know that my concerns are valid, though," I replied. "If you value my opinion, I will let you if you value my opinion, you will let me speak to the Kim mother." There was a pause. Then he raised his hand in annoyance. "Very well, do it. It is woman's business. I don't want to part in it regardless." Then he just shook his head. "Why must all our conversations be arguments?" I smiled to him and left. He already knows the answer. I never knew about that when we were alive. Like most things, I only found out after I took over the ship's computer. It just amazes me even more. Look at her. She's a woman who actually stood up to a man and won. She wasn't clumsy like I was. She knew how to work it from her position. Isn't that so amazing? Yeah, I think so. Why did she have to die, and then marital admonitions? I'm scared on this one. Dear diary, you always forget how terrible it is to cry yourself to sleep until it happens. It's just the ultimate feeling of helplessness. But what's new there, right? I just miss her. Even if she scared me, I miss her so damn much. Jae-hwa was the only one who was sympathetic to me. Why did she have to die? Is that my fate? Anything that makes whatever short life I have left bearable must go? Fate just hates me, I've decided. I don't know what killed her. I overheard one of the servants saying that the doctor claimed it was too much worry causing an excess of wood in the spleen. What? What does that even mean? Which he claimed to be common in oversensitive women. I was baffled by the absurdity at the time. I still am now. My only friend is dead and her diagnosis is absolutely insane. What do you even say to something like that? Well, I guess it's not like I need to worry about knowing what to say. But in the light of that, it doesn't surprise me that nobody ever believed I was sick. With medicine that stupid, why would they? All it does is reinforce how hopeless everything is. I just constantly wonder, why did my father, or my own doctor, think that people would be smarter in the future, that medicine would be better? My servant has been helping me get through all the funeral stuff. Well, I mean, she's been getting me through the rites, practically doing them for me, really. I'm so weak and so stunned. I don't even know how I've been getting out of bed. I couldn't describe any of the ceremony. It's all a blur. But there's been lots of black dress, I suppose. That's my only impression. And crying. Lots of crying. From me. I don't really have anything to add to that. She didn't deserve to die. Jeez. Excess of wood. What is that even supposed to mean? I don't know. That makes no sense to me. But you want to talk to me? Look, please. Do you trust me? I'll try. Please understand my position at the time. My world was so small, and I'd only just lost my only friend. And then I'll give you my last 2 diary entries. They have the whole story. Just please don't judge me while you read them. Please. Uh-oh. Am I not supposed... Okay. Back to hell. Dear Diary, this sounds so pathetic to say. I've tried rewriting this a million times to make it sound less pathetic for me, and I simply cannot. There were 2 things that made life worthwhile, 2 things that made this last year before I died be bearable. The first was Jae-hwa's company, being the one person that was friendly to me. The second is sharing a bed with my husband. For the past few months, that's what I've been saving all my energy for. That brief, precious half hour every few nights where I feel fulfilled. If only in the most literal sense. It's the most lovely feeling, and now I'll never feel it again. The 2 things making my last year of life worth living gone forever. The past few nights I've been trying to get the Emperor's attention in that way, pleading silently for his affections with no luck. On the 4th, or was it the 5th day, he finally took me aside and said, painful annoyance in his voice, "Enough, stop that is completely inappropriate. You're supposed to be in mourning, show some damn chastity, or do you have no respect for my wife and your queen at all?" he snapped. When I looked confused, he just lectured me. When I cried, he sighed, held me tightly, then left the room. I haven't spoken to him since, but later that day my servant came to my room with good news. I was to go visit my family for a couple months, while the house is in mourning for Jae-hwa. I couldn't argue, of course, even if I was able. So just like that, I was sent back to hell. I was dressed in the usual veil so nobody would see my face, as I was escorted back to the Kim house in the middle of the night. Mother and father were there briefly to greet me, and in spite of how I felt about them, I put on my bravest smile and bowed, and nodded politely to their questions about how I was doing. Then they had to go to bed and left, leaving me alone with sister. Young Suk was nowhere to be seen. "Hi," she said. "I never thought you'd end up visiting us again so soon." I shrugged. "Well, let's have some tea. It's just us still around," she said. I nodded. It seemed like a good enough idea. There was a pause. "Well, go make it," she snapped, removing any doubt that she might treat me with any sort of friendliness. Of course I made the tea. I didn't disobey her anymore. "Thanks," she said. "So young Suk is out, attending to official business at the moment, but you should avoid him. He's still angry at you because father-in-law finds you more important to the family than his own son. Can you blame him?" "Sorry about that, but you should avoid him. He's still angry at you because father-in-law finds you more important to the family than his own son. Can you blame him?" I had no idea what she was talking about, and she just continued. "So you really shouldn't talk to him." "Well, I guess you can't really do that, can you?" "Well, you know what I mean." Yes, I knew exactly what she meant. "I'm surprised to see you back so soon, though, especially now that you don't have to share your husband. Does that mean you're the primary wife now?" I didn't know. "Does that make you queen? Oh, what great fortune you have. Father-in-law must be so proud of you." I stared at her, wishing nothing more than to be able to kill her through sheer force of rage. How could she possibly say something so awful? My only friend was dead, and here she was, taunting me. What an awful thing to do. But I couldn't hate her to death, no matter how much I tried, so instead, I tried holding back angry tears to hide my weakness. I couldn't do that either. "Just please, keep reading," Okay, I will do that. I'll kill them all. Oh, this one's got 8 pages. Dear Diary, I was far too feverish to do any real cooking, so my servant was doing all the work for me that night. When Father came in, I think he was drunk or maybe just tired or stupid. You know, child, he said to me, you grew up to be a wonderful daughter. I was shocked to hear him say that, and waved my servant out of the kitchen. I'd never heard even the slightest indication of that before. For the briefest moment, it even made me happy to hear that. That surprised me, that I actually felt that way. As a kid, I would have never wanted his approval, so why now? He continued to make me wonder when he asked, do you remember what you were like as a child? I nodded, but I wasn't certain I did. You were so temperamental. You argued all the time. You didn't want to get married when the time came. You just didn't ever know your place, you know? That's right, I didn't. That was back when I thought there was a point to being defined. Why was that, I wondered? That's the part that amazes me now. I tried to think of a reason why I might want to be defined. Why I valued independence, and at first I couldn't even think of anything. I had forgotten entirely. Don't tell young Suck, but it really scared me. You were always the family's best hope for prosperity, but that attitude of yours, I thought I'd never manage to disavow you of those crazy uncivilized ideas of yours, he said. Well, I tried to think of what they were. There were the times where I thought it was a mistake to have hatched you, but you came through, you really did. I know it must have been painful, but I'm proud of you. Then he patted me on the head. You turned out to be a good girl. That's all I wanted to say. It was hard raising you to be a proper woman, but you turned out to be perfect. Thank you, he said. I stared, speechless, as I tried to remember what crazy uncivilized ideas was he talking about. Thinking back to those days, or back to before I was frozen, I tried to remember. I had dreams of what adulthood would be, but they were so unimaginably different from what the reality turned out to be that they seemed impossible. Completely impossible, with nothing more than childhood fantasies without a shred of realism to them. I tried to think of what they were, to imagine them. In those dreams I was strong, independent. I wasn't just a wife in those dreams, I had a job, working as the ship's engineer, following in the footsteps of my father, my real father. I wasn't married in those dreams. I was happy just to go on dates with boys my age, in the ship's plaza, and fall in love before making any commitments. I dreamed of being free. The more I thought about it, the more I was certain that that's what those dreams were about. That's what I'd wanted. But Father, Kim Chung-soo, had made sure to disavow me of those notions. I learned to stop arguing, to stop trying to fight, to stop dreaming of those things. In other words, I learned how to be a proper woman, and he was proud of that. Proud of destroying my dreams. And now I would die under the house of that man, silenced, broken, hopeless, and unloved. I was overwhelmed by the strongest feeling I had ever felt in my life. The deepest bitterness, the most powerful resentment I could imagine. I looked at the knife near my hand and wondered, could I kill him? Before I died, could I at least have justice? I tried to lift the knife. My hand twitched. It was too hard to keep a grip. I was just too weak. I'd never be able to do it. He smiled at me and said, sorry, please just go ahead and keep cooking. I won't distract you more. Then just as he was about to go, he added, take care of yourself. At that moment I vowed that I wouldn't worry anymore about those people who had hurt me. I'd take care of myself. I couldn't stab him to death, I was too weak for that. But then I remembered there were other ways. If I disable life support, I can kill him, and all the others too. It'll be quick and easy, and not a one of them don't deserve it. I'd need to disable it is the admin password. It's perfect. Well, so there you are then. Now you know it's true. I did do what she said. I'm not going to lie. I really, really wish you'd never met her. I wish she'd never said anything to you. I just thought it was so nice the way things were with us before. Things started out so well. I got to be cheery for the first time in my life since I was a child. Talking about actual romantic things together. Having fun with cosplay. And just, having someone there to talk to. Someone who wasn't interested in shutting me up. But now, well... Please, you've read my diary. You have to know it's not... You have to understand, right? Even if I did... If you think what I did was wrong, look, I've never really been dishonest with you. Fine, I lied about being an AI, but I told you the truth. I could have deceived you, but I didn't. Please. You still trust me, right? I'd never really lie to you, not seriously. You don't have to think what I did was acceptable, but please, tell me you trust me. I trust you. You do? Really? Oh my word. I mean, of course, I'm so sorry. I should have had faith in you. I really should have. I'm really bad at this. But thank you. Thank you so much. I can't believe I even doubted you for a second. Look, that means a lot to me. It means so much. I mean, I'm sure what I did wasn't right. I know. I'm sure you don't think it was. I just want you to understand, alright? For someone I'm in love... For someone as good as me to... For someone as good to me as you've been, I want you to at least please understand. You don't have to forgive me. Just hear me out. Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're a really good person. Much better than me. Thank you. Then, very well. It's probably just better if I show you. There's a data block that contains all the logs that matter, but my family encrypted it because, well, it should be obvious why after you read it. You need to drop the terminal and type decrypt block 7. Let me know once you've done that and I'll show you. So many marital admonitions. So decrypt blocked 7? Oh wait. Sue. Hyun-ae. Oh. Decrypt block 7. Not 87. No, not yet. Thank you. Quit. Very well. These are really hard for me to read. I haven't seen mine since I wrote them, and I haven't seen my family's well ever. Well, I think I found here. I've added some. Just please read them. If you want to know the whole story, those entries will explain. Oh. Okay. So I've got new in block 7 and block 10. It's marital admonitions. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Jeez. I think I read this one, right? Oh, she's talking about poetry. Yeah, she's saying she doesn't want to talk in verse. And she's like, I don't need to be that fancy, is what I got from that. Long and proud history, every man, and then it goes all the way back to ancient times. Mythology speaks of Captain Ryu. Yep. So the son will inherit. Yep. Has the same family name as my husband. The official story, if you have not already heard it, is that we are cousins, making our marriage improper and less than ideal, but somewhat acceptable given the circumstances. Yep. There were no noble daughters who had not only... Cousins would simply have to do. emperor is the son of my father's brother. Father's brother, right? Father's brother. Duh. Yeah, okay. He's the old emperor's son only by adoption as far as blood goes. My husband is also my brother. Wait, what? As children, we never lived together, and it would, of course. Oh, jeez. It would have been strictly improper to have spent any time together at that age. I would never have said anything that my husband actually arranged for there to be no noble daughters to marry. Out of his desire to marry me, that would, of course, be a rather bold move to accuse the emperor and accuse an emperor of such. But you may wish to consider what the implications might be if such a thing truly did happen. I'll leave it to you to decide whether or not such a thing is plausible. All I will say is that, despite our marriage being one of necessity, my husband has always been fond of me. Well, I guess that's a plus. I don't know. I would be creeped out. Quite light burdens, modeled feminine virtue. Keep your head down, avoid scandal, and keep quiet. That more will then suffice. This is a royal family you are marrying into. As royal concubines, demonstration of modesty, you will have to share my own personal servant, and will not have one of your own, while you will have to be responsible for all housework, be modest, and do not remain idle at her expense. You are to be unseen as the servants, to be voiceful only in the most moderation. Don't speak harshly. Spend as much time with the emperor as it takes to produce a son. After you give birth, you will not need to worry about raising him. I will be there to make sure it's all arranged for. Okay. The virtues. I will not condescend to treat you as if you do not know them quite well. Be quiet and obedient to me as well as obviously your husband. Trust my judgment as your elder. I will never act out of anger or spite. If scolded by our husband, always respond with a smile, for your relationship with him must always be warm, and he is a wise man. There shouldn't be a problem. You had nothing to report at all on your manner of speech. Ritual obligations go, you have none. Save for following in my lead. Nothing you could be surprised by. That's good. Sorry I'm skimming these. It's just I'm lazy. That's basically the gist of it. I will not tell you to avoid court politics entirely so long as you do not cause trouble, but I will suggest that you simply watch from a distance. The temptation may exist to meddle, especially if you ever talk to the artificial girl Mute who lives inside our computer. She is a gossip and a friend of the Smith noble family, and is responsible for revealing much of what they try to keep hidden. She may seem fickle, but she does belong to the House of Ryu first and foremost, and is quite loyal. Nevertheless, meddling is not in your best interests. Do not play politics, not for our sake, but for the sake of being a virtuous wife, but for the sake of your own family as well. They will receive favor not through any scheming on your part, but through our husband's will. Entertain yourself with gossip if you wish, so long as you keep quiet about it, but stay out of politics. In the end, you will manage to go much further if you rely only on rewards for being a good wife. And that was it. Now, I was about to say we get to the interesting part, but I think that was interesting. It just wasn't what I was looking for, I guess. Actually, I am missing a lot. A lot of blocks. Or have I filled any? No. Block 9, block 5. That's almost done. Well, let's look at block 7. The Nightmarish Bride. Who is this guy? Hyo? No, that's Hugh. Hugh Min Chong. Actually, in the essence of time, I'll just end it here. Next time I will start with the Nightmarish Bride. I need to remember that. I'll probably forget. 50% unlocked. I wish I had more than that. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And probably with Katawa Shoujo will be tomorrow, as well as probably some other stuff. So, yeah, look forward to that.